Once upon a time, in a small English village, there lived a peculiar old man named Mr. Jenkins. He was known for his eccentricity and his knack for getting into the most hilarious and ridiculous situations. One sunny morning, as Mr. Jenkins strolled down the village road, he noticed a sign outside the local bakery that read, "Freshly baked pies, buy one, get one free." His eyes lit up with excitement. Being a big fan of pies, he couldn't resist the offer. Mr. Jenkins rushed into the bakery and eagerly ordered 2 delicious-looking apple pies. As he was about to leave, the baker stopped him and said, "Sir, I'm sorry, but we've run out of pie boxes. Would you mind carrying them in your hands?" Without a second thought, Mr. Jenkins agreed, thinking it would be a piece of cake. He took the 2 piping hot pies in his hands and began his journey back home. Little did he know that this simple task would turn into a comical adventure. As Mr. Jenkins walked along, he couldn't resist the tantalizing aroma of the pies. The delicious smell wafting up from his hands made him long for a taste. Unable to control himself any longer, he took a small bite from one of the pies. The filling was so mouthwatering that he couldn't stop at just one bite. Soon, he was gobbling up the pie with absolute delight. Meanwhile, a mischievous neighborhood dog named Rufus caught a whiff of the mouth-watering scent. He followed Mr. Jenkins, wagging his tail and hoping for a tasty treat. Rufus was known for his love of mischief, and he saw an opportunity to have some fun. With a twinkle in his eye, Rufus quietly crept up behind Mr. Jenkins and, with one swift movement, snatched the second pie from his hands. Mr. Jenkins turned around in shock, only to see the mischievous Rufus happily devouring his precious pie. Dumbfounded and pie-less, Mr. Jenkins stood there, staring at Rufus, who now had a guilty expression on his face. The two of them engaged in a hilarious staring contest, with Mr. Jenkins trying to convey his disappointment and Rufus trying to look innocent. Eventually, Mr. Jenkins couldn't help but burst into laughter. The absurdity of the situation struck him, and he realized that sometimes life has a funny way of playing pranks on us. He patted Rufus on the head and said, "Well, I guess we'll have to share the pie, old chap." And so, Mr. Jenkins and Rufus sat on the side of the road, laughing and sharing the remaining pie, creating a heartwarming and humorous moment that would be talked about in the village for years to come. And that, my friend, is the tale of Mr. Jenkins and his hilarious pie adventure, a story that reminds us to find joy in the unexpected and to never underestimate the mischievousness of our furry friends.